So without further ado, we'll hop in here again. This is the MRP and Forecasting 101 webinar. Why does forecasting, and if you're not familiar with the term MRP, it means material resource planning, which is basically planning of inventory, acquisition and consumption and fulfillment throughout that whole process. For any manufacturing company, it's the lifeblood of the company. It occupies a lot of the dollars on the purchasing side, but then also almost everyone in the company interacts with materials, whether it's somebody buying them, receiving them, using them in manufacturing, shipping them out to customers. And so a lot of the labor and materials are oftentimes the two most expensive things for any manufacturing company, and material resource planning affects all of those things. So what happens if we do not do it well? So I hear a lot that companies are reacting to things. They are reacting to stockouts. They're reacting to orders that can't be fulfilled. And so one of the things that happens when companies don't plan for materials well is they are reactive. Um, Raw material delays, everything's unorganized, including production. You run in, if you have too much inventory, some of it could spoil or expire. If you don't have enough inventory, you have stockouts and you can't fill orders, and then, of course, wasted labor. If you do it well, you can be proactive. And we'll see this in a few minutes. You can look into the future and see what material flow looks like in the future instead of just looking at it right now. And you can proactively order materials, plan production, do things in advance. Makes the company flow better. You can schedule production employees and do all of the things that you need to do. Makes for a much more efficient enterprise, stable production schedule, labor savings, visibility for everybody in the company. This material planning shouldn't be in a silo. It's not one person in a spreadsheet. And believe me, nobody loves spreadsheets more than I do, but it's great to get off of those and give visibility to everybody in the company and allow them to react to things um, instead of having to access one person in the company that has all the information. What does an ERP do as part of this? And we'll get into this, so I don't want to belabor all of these things, but it's essentially the central source of truth for materials. Again, you can kind of read through all of these things, but it does a lot of the automations because we have all the information from with regard to purchasing, production, orders in-house, company forecast. All of that's in one place, and so we're able to, on a forward-looking basis, predict what inventory is going to look like. So without further ado, let's hop into the system here and take a look. So there are various layers of material planning, and I'm going to go from kind of the most basic to the most advanced in this realm. So at a basic level, we have things like reorder points in the system where I don't want to know I'm out of inventory when I run out of inventory. I want to put triggers in the system that tell me when I'm getting to a level, and this can be by item, when I'm getting to a level when I should be reordering it or at least consider reordering it. So um, in Wherefour, we have triggers here. So if we look at this particular item here, we've got a visual cue in the system that we need to order some of this carrot root extract because it's gotten below a level that we want to be at. For color pigment number 3, we're out of it. And so we've got a visual cue. You can also have the system do things like automatically queue up a purchase order or send you an email reminding you that you probably need to order it. So, and just for reference, this is a cosmetics company. It works the same for any type of company, food, whether it be food, beverage, cosmetics, nutraceutical, inventory management, and MRP planning works the same in all across all of those products. So that's one level of what I would call material resource planning. If I want to go next level for this, and this is used pretty frequently, I'm going to hop into, in our system, these things live within the production module. This what if tool is basically, what if I want to do a production run of a certain size? Can I do it with what I have on hand? And so let's say I want to make some of these. Let's say somebody calls me up, I'm a co-manufacturer, and they want to order 10,000 units of this 12-ounce lip balm. Can I do it with what I have on hand right now? Very quickly, we can hop into the system here and see. I can't quite do it because I have most of what I need in stock. It's basically what do I need? What do I have on hand? And we're going to pop down here and we're out of a couple of items. Basically, we need some of this distilled water, but then also a couple of packaging items. So it's going to look at not only raw materials to make your product, but also the items that you need to package it up and send it out. So in this example, we have a certain amount on hand here, but we need 9,888 of each of these packaging items. So basically, we need to place an order for all of these products in order to be able to do a production run of that size. So that's kind of on a one product basis. We can also do it on a multiple product basis because a lot of times there's shared ingredients. So let's say here we've got a couple of different products here. We've got a 12-ounce face wax and a 14-ounce face wax lotion. I'm going to put both of those into the system and it's going to tell us again, can I do this? So let's say I want to run 10,000 of these and 5,000 of these. Well, this is the same product. It's just made in a different packaging size. So it's going to have common ingredients that go into making the product that goes in the bottle. The bottles are going to be different sizes. We're going to have a 12-ounce bottle and a 4-ounce bottle, but the stuff that goes in it is going to be the same. So goes next level and it's going to analyze shared ingredients across a couple of different products here. And we do this analysis and sure enough, so all of these products here would be in both bills of materials or formulations. And so it's going to add up the combined need across both products and tell us whether or not we can make this with what we have on hand right now. So in this example, we would need to order in a lot of these items. It's actually going to tell us what the lead time is on each of these. We've got a 14-day lead time, a 4-day lead time, 10-day lead time. So if I quickly scan this, the quickest I'm going to be able to do this run is in 14 days. So again, kind of next level information. The next thing I'm going to show you is much more sophisticated planning. And what it's going to do is it's going to combine you can drive this by forecast, which is kind of the best way to do it. And we're going to look at a start date of today. So I'm going to drill into this forecast and variety of ways to generate these. You can use a look back period and have that create a forward-looking forecast. You can plug a manual estimate into the system. You can upload your forecast if you're doing it in a spreadsheet. You can upload that into Wherefour. But this is basically going to show us, and you can do it over 8 weeks or 12 weeks, whatever you want to do. We're going to do this over 4 weeks because that's kind of our production planning and purchasing planning time horizon. We've got 4 products across our product line here. You can have all of your products. You can have a subset of them. You can set them up by category, but basically we've got a forward-looking forecast of what do we think we're going to sell over these 4 weeks. And what that's going to do is feed our material resource planner. And if I go into this, there's some additional parameters. I also want to include orders from customers. I want to include purchase orders, which would be items that I've ordered from vendors that haven't arrived yet. And I want to look at the deliver by date because again, we want to take in lead times of when this inventory is actually going to be here. Just because I ordered it today doesn't mean it's going to be here today. If I have a 2-week lead time, I want to know that that inventory is arriving in 2 weeks. And then we're also going to include work orders, which is what's going to consume raw materials and make our finished goods. So let's take a look at what this does. It's actually pretty amazing. So I'm going to go in here and view this, and I'm going to toggle off for the time being the raw material side, and I just want to look at finished goods in the system. And so basically what it's going to show here is I've got 450 units of this product on hand right now. I've got some production scheduled for this week to make 1,600 units. And so over the course of the week, I've got something on hand. We're forecast to deplete 600. Thankfully, we have some production scheduled. Otherwise, we wouldn't have enough. And so at the end of this week, I'm going to have 1,450 units of this product on hand. That's what I'm going to start next week with. Forecast is going to deplete 800. I'm going to have 650 units on hand. But what this is now telling us is I need to make some of this before the week that starts 5/29. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to run production. We're going to actually go through and do that in a couple of minutes here, but in the meantime, let's kind of look at what else do I have? How does my inventory look for my other items that are in the forecast? 4-ounce units, it's actually totally fine over this time horizon. One of the reasons is I do have production scheduled next week to make 1,500 units of this, so I'm in fine shape. If I've got a jammed up production schedule, maybe I would move it till the next week or the following week because I have a little bit of leeway here due to what is on hand right now. I'm going to scroll down here for another item here, and basically I've got some of this on hand, 50 units, but I've got a forecast for 100. I see that I have I'm scheduled to make 600 next week, so this is basically telling us I want to bump this up to this week. Otherwise, I'm not going to have enough on hand to ship my orders out. So um, let's take care of some of these things. So I'm going to look at for our H2O here, I want to go to my production calendar. And it's going to be as simple as this. I've got this scheduled to be made next week. I'm just going to move it up to this week. One of the other things is I've got this product that I have scheduled, but I also want to schedule a work order to make some of that in a couple of weeks. Easy way to do that is I'm going to go here and let's see, I'm going to expand our kind of time horizon of work orders that we have scheduled. And I want to make some of that face fact 12. So what I'm going to do is clone that work order, which is just to create a copy of it. I'm going to schedule it out for a couple weeks from now. And let's just say, let's make 2,000 units here. So now we've put another production work order on the scheduled for 2 weeks hence. I've got to fill in a lot code here. Um, Now we've put that onto the calendar 2 weeks from now, so we're good to go on that one. And the other item that we wanted to make some of was the um, Koala Kisses here, Koala Kisses pack. We need to make some, 1,500 cases of this, so we'll put that on the schedule of the Koala Kisses pack. And just go KK pack. We're going to put some of that on the calendar for a couple of weeks from now. And Koala Kisses. And let's say we'll make 500 units of that. So we've gone in here. Actually, it's kind of a game, actually. You see how inventory is adjusting. You plan out into the future for that. And now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to rerun my analysis. The system is going to, based on things that have happened in the system, it's going to redo all of that math in here. So once I take a look at this, and again, I'm going to toggle on to the just to take a look at my finished goods, we see here, here's our cloned order here. So we're totally fine across our whole time horizon. We want to see green here. I didn't actually make any of this, so I need to schedule some more of that I'm seeing in the system. But I did schedule some, my 32,000 cases of this Koala Kisses pack. So the last thing I need to do would be able to go in and set up some production for the H2O 8-ounce, and we'd be good to go. So it's actually kind of fun. So you're just basically planning out. So we've got green across the time horizon. And if we see that we've got an excess here, we can always just cancel production as well. So really easy to do that kind of stuff. I'm going to quickly cover the raw material side because in order to make product, I actually have to order raw materials. So it's going to do the same thing for all of the items that are on our finished good forecast. It's going to say, what do I need to order in order to have that material on hand? And it's going to do the same thing. What do I have on hand? What is being consumed in the work orders that are in the system? And what is consumed by my forecast in the system? So as I'm scrolling down here, I'm seeing a lot of, basically a lot of green across. I do have one item that I need to order in some product for, and it's this carrot root extract. I see I've got a purchase order here that's supposed to come in a few weeks here. So I would want to order more of that product because I'm not going to have enough on hand. Once I create that purchase order, you see it's in the purchase order line. If I queue up a purchase order, I want to have it ordered this week, assuming it's not a longer lead time product. And in this example, we see it's 5 days, so I can get some in before the end of the week. I could place a PO for that. Once I do that, the system will redo the math and show me that I'm going to have enough of that item on hand. So it gets way more complicated because for basically every product you're making within any company, there's going to be 5 to 10 to 15 raw materials. Trying to figure out all of that and then you're sharing them across items that you're making gets increasingly more complicated on the raw material side. And so being able to use a material resource planner like this becomes infinitely more valuable when you consider the raw material side of the equation. So that's a quick look at the MRP, forecasting, material planning. It's obviously a very complicated topic. Feel free to reach out if you want to take a look at your specific use case. We're happy to kind of walk through those in a specific situation, but this is a quick look into what the world of planning into the future looks like. It's definitely one of the topics that when we talk to people is the most asked about. They feel disorganized, not prepared. They feel like they're running around, they're having stockouts and that sort of thing. And so this MRP is meant to fix that. So thank you very much for attending. Feel free to check out any of our other webinars that are on demand, any of the past ones. And again, we're producing these pretty much every week. So check it out in the future. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your week.